why your nose may be killing you. Entering into the world of breath work the last couple of years, right? Then it's a rabbit hole when you get into health and wellness and all of that. And there's many aspects about the breath. So first it was the emotional release, the trauma side of the breath. But then I wanted to, I read a book, Why We Sleep, from Matt Walker, I think. Changed my life about sleep. So got the Whoop band, started tracking my sleep, and I'm like, okay, my sleep has shit. Yeah, how do we improve sleep? That's where I went into, right? So magnesium and certain supplements and ashwagandha and all of that. That helped, but really wasn't a game-changing factor for me. Then I came across a book, 6 Foot Tiger, 3 Foot Cage. 3 Foot Cage, 6 Foot Tiger by Dr. I think Felix Lau. He's a dentist in America. If I'm butchering the title, sorry, but it's something like that, yeah? And it talks about your jaw and your airways and how your tongue is, which is the 6 Foot Tiger, is trapped in your jaw, because our jaws have narrowed over time from back in the day, and how our tongues don't fit properly in our jaw anymore. And at night, it's blocking our airways. And that's what the whole thing about sleep apnea is blowing up, and CPAP machines, and we can't breathe because our tongue is blocking our airways. I'm like, holy shit. And it was a dentist. You're learning all of this from a dentist. And like, holy shit. So then you start Googling holistic dentists. And then I started getting into, okay, understanding my jaw. And I go, okay, my jaw is actually narrow. And my case was, the reasons behind it were quite clear. Is during, when I was a kid, in the Philippines, growing up in the Philippines, teeth weren't straight and all of that. So we got braces, but also in my case, I had to put a headgear on. So old school headgear where you got these metal bands. And if you watch these old cartoons or old movies from the 90s, you'll see some kids wearing this headgear and it looks like, you're fucking an alien. And you're like, getting signals from outer space and stuff, it's one of those type of things. And so what happens, that system back in the day actually made our jaw worse, made it more narrow, brought us inside. So I've got a retruded lower jaw. So found this first holistic dentist, and understanding that, okay, I need to work on my jaw. I need to bring it forward, open the airways a bit more. And okay, I'll go, wow, that's interesting. So if I do that, if I get some splints and mouth guards and some, retainers and appliances, I could breathe better at night. I'm like, oh, wow, great. Costly exercise, and I'm undergoing through, undergoing that process, and I'll discuss that in detail in the next video. That was part 1, apparently. Part 2 is looking at my nose. And, subconsciously, you'd think that these are things that a doctor would pick up on or all of that, right? Now, I've had a nose problem since I can remember. Yeah. And it's kind of ironic that a breathwork instructor struggles with breathing. Yeah. And that's the funny part. So I sniffle all the time. I have my morning sniffles. I have hay fever. I have runny nose. I have blocked noses all the time. If one nostril's okay, the other one is blocked, congestions. My nose has been an issue since day one. Yeah. And it was the dentist who actually ordered I don't know these technical terms, but a full head x-ray, cephalograms, or I don't know, these cone x-rays, right, of my head. And it was the dentist that said, oh, you have a deviated septum or a broken nose. And although you're lucky you don't have any congestion, inflamed sinus or sinus pockets and all of that, it's clear, but your nose is broken. And we're fixing your jaw and your airway, but you need to look at your nose. And it was a dentist that said that, right? So I was completely in shock. My dentist, the one saying, go see your nose doctor. Firstly, I'm like, why the hell did I think of this before. I've had a nose problem for so long. Why didn't I go and see a specialist about this, right? And it was because I thought this was normal. That everyone gets a blocked nose from time to time, and everyone sneezes, and everyone has sinus problems and hay problems. I thought it was normal. And it was until I saw this dentist. He goes, Vish, nah, it's not normal. And then he referred me to an ENT, an ear, nose, and throat specialist. And guess what he said? He goes, Vish, you have been breathing your whole life through a straw. What the fuck? He goes, you have been in survival mode your whole life. You've been in your sympathetic mode, your fight or flight mode your whole life. And he goes, you've been managing, you've actually been overcompensating, you've actually exceedingly, grab your resources from different parts of your body, and you've been pushing through, but you're breathing on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, you're breathing at a 3. Yeah. Your turbinates, which is like part of your nasal structures, are inflamed because of the allergies to dust and all of that, and your septum is like an S. Is that fucked up? Right? He didn't say it in those words, but he said your nose looks like you've either played contact sports, which I haven't, or you've been in boxing matches and all of that, which I haven't. So he goes, yeah, something must have happened before the age of 12, and I'm still trying to understand what happened. I've spoken to my mom and dad, can't figure that part out, but something happened in your childhood, and it's caused you to deviate septum. So yeah, if you want to breathe properly, and you probably haven't experienced what a proper breath is your whole life, get your nose checked. So essentially, my nose has slowly been killing me my whole life. Yeah. So I've booked in for, and being a breathwork specialist now, I'm trying to look at holistic ways to get this sorted out. And if you guys have any answers, please come back to me. But bone, it's hard to sort out bone. So I can keep you updated on my journey. But yeah, I've booked in for my nose surgery. So my nose job. So I'm going to have a prettier nose in a couple of months. But I'm actually really excited about that. It's costing me an arm and a leg because it's all private healthcare and all of that. And I don't get anything back from Medicare or my health insurance. So it's costing me out of pocket a lot. But if you can even hear me breathing now, this is me every day. And I'm actually really excited about this. I'm actually looking forward to what a proper breath feels like. So if you've had the same problems, if you're struggling with breathing, my next step as well with this ENT is to go and see an allergist specialist to look at my hay fever and my dust and go through immunotherapy to desensitize me. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So if you're struggling breathing, look at your nose, look at your jaw, your airways through a dentist, a holistic dentist, see an ENT specialist, and maybe see an allergen specialist as well, right? So yeah, slowly, thank God I've got a backup system, your mouth, i.e. your mouth, but slowly my nose has been, not performing at its best. So yeah, fingers crossed, I'll be able to breathe better in 60 days. Wish me luck. Cheers, guys.